It's the end of an era this weekend out in Bismarck as the city welcomes 8 teams to town to play in the final Class B boys basketball state tournament as we know it, with the switch to a 3-class system coming next school year. It's an interesting field with only 4 teams that were ranked in the final top 10 of the season making the dance. Thursday's action at the Bismarck Event Center tips off with Powers Lake Burke Central taking on second-seeded Shiloh Christian. The Ranchers have made trips to the B every other year dating back to 2019 now, but have failed to win a quarterfinal game. Powers Lake Burke Central enters state having won 12 of its last 13 games, including the Region 8 tournament victories over Stanley and Kenmare Bullbells. Region Senior Athlete of the Year Tyson Inget has played a big role in all 3 of the Ranchers' recent state tournament appearances. He's a stat stuffer, averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4.5 steals per game. He's been battling an ankle injury which has forced other players to step up, and because of that, the Ranchers feel they have the balance to contend in the tournament.
Enjoy it while it lasts. It seems like it goes by real quick, but it's a really cool experience. Even though I didn't even play the last 2 times, I loved it. But you just gotta be willing to work hard, and you get there, and it's a fun experience.
It'll be a rematch of the 2021 7th place game in which Powers Lake defeated Shiloh Christian. The Skyhawks are a mainstay at the B, having qualified for every one of them going back to 2018. Brad Miller's team put the clamps on in the Region 5 tournament, holding its 3 foes to an average of 38 points per game. The offense is no slouch either, with all 5 starters averaging over 10 points a game. Not a lot of teams have an answer for the Skyhawks' strong inside-out game, featuring 6'6" junior Atticus Wilkinson and 6'7" senior Jay Wanzik in the post. They tend to draw a crowd in the paint, which leads to bountiful opportunities on the perimeter.
I think it's real dangerous, because they're gonna have to have 2-3 guys help in on me and Atticus, and then we'll kick out for wide open threes. And as we saw tonight, our guys can knock it down.
If we're hitting our shots, we've got a good inside-out game. So it's hard for teams to double on our bigs when we're hitting our shots. So hopefully we can find enough guys to be able to do that.
Beulah earned the 3 seed and will take on Medina Pingree Buchanan in semifinal number 2. You can expect the Thunder to bring a thunderous crowd to the capital city. Pingree Buchanan last made state in 2006 in a co-op with Kensal, while Medina's only trip to the B came all the way back in 1981. It's a remarkable turnaround for a program that finished with 0 wins just 4 years ago. Head coach Bob Young starts a veteran lineup consisting of 3 seniors and 2 juniors. 6'5" junior Brylan Wick can do some damage in the post and is a great passer and can shoot from outside too. Wick, along with senior Josh Moser, average a combined 33 points a game. They know they'll be an underdog, but they can't wait to prove people wrong.
We are a team that likes to slow you down and make you play in the half court. We're not going to run and gun with you. That doesn't mean we can't get transition points, but because we're a more methodical team and play in the half court, we're used to playing close games. Yeah. We're not a team that scores 80 points and wins games 80-40. Most of our games are within 10 to 15 points or else even closer. So our kids are used to executing under stressful situations.
The Miners return to state for the first time since their 3-year run from 2018 to 2020. It's a balanced effort every night for Jeremy Brandt's Beulah squad. All 7 players in their rotation contribute on the offensive end, led by athletic Trace Beauchamp. Beulah always tests itself with a strong schedule, and they've already played 3 teams that'll compete at the B, going 3-0 against the likes of Powers Lake Burke Central, Delax Burlington, and Shiloh Christian. Results that give them confidence as they head to Bismarck.
We can be as good as anyone if we play well, because we did beat those good teams, but then as we got into the year, we played, some of our better region teams. That's where we took that loss to Bowman, and then we went to 4 wins. Minot Ryan came here, and we took a few losses there, and I think those probably maybe reset us a little bit and maybe brought us back down to reality and said, hey, you know what, we need to start working on some things.
I feel just tacking the lane again. We tacked the lane in the region using our posts, and they helped us, get us going with some easy layups and stuff. So I feel just getting in the lane, attacking the basket, giving it to our post will help us to get those easy shots early and help us settle into the game.
Matchup number 3 features the top seed and undefeated Central Cass against Warwick. The Warriors opened a lot of eyes with their run this past week. They had to rally for an overtime win in the play-in game just to reach the Region 4 tournament. Then they rattled off 3 straight upset wins en route to advancing to state for the first time since 1996, and just the 3rd time overall. Mark Fassett Jr. and Dwight Hunt are the top 2 scorers on a team that thrives off movement on offense, whether it's moving without the ball or quick passes. They know that they'll be underdogs, but it's a role they're familiar with.
We go out there and we play hard. When we had that title of underdog the moment we started going into the regional, and to remind people, we almost did not make the regionals as well. We had a 9-point deficit going into that 4th quarter against one of our bottom seeds, and I think that was a really good turning point for us to really, we overcame that game. We went to overtime with them and we got the win, and then we haven't looked back since. I think that's really that's what we've learned from. We're reflecting on that part well as a team.
We get out going early, like the transition, get some buckets going right away, then we start turning up on the defense. Start getting more buckets.
Top seed Central Cass will try to match their girls team by bringing home the state title, which would be a first for the boys program. The Squirrels have the size, the scoring, the depth, and the athleticism that most coaches dream about. The trio of Carter Verkota, Sam Coppervig, and Cole Holzer lead the way in scoring, all at over 12 points per game. The Squirrels have proved they can win games of any kind throughout the year, defensive battle or a shootout. They might be heading to Bismarck with a perfect record, but they're bringing some learning lessons too.
We can go through any one of our wins this year and see things that we could do better. We had a lot of close calls. Thankfully, we ended up on the right side of the win-loss column. But every single day, we need to focus on the process and making sure that we're getting better.
If maybe 1 or 2 guys of our team's not scoring, we got a lot of other assets. So it's kind of hard to scout us, because if you guard one guy really well, then you got a couple other guys who will go out there and score the ball at a high rate too.
Thompson and Delax Burlington meet in the last quarterfinal game of the day on Thursday. The Tommies earn the 4 seed and hold a 16-7 record after defeating Grafton for the Region 2 crown. This is only Thompson's 2nd trip to state, with the other being in 2019, when they won it all. Thompson's rotation doesn't have a senior in it, but it's loaded with talent. Drew Overby is an excellent shooter that's averaging 17.5 points per game, while Jacob Starcevic and Carter Peterson are also great scoring threats, along with being the team's top rebounders. The Tommies lost 4 of 6 to finish the regular season against some stiff competition, and they're hoping that, along with some battles in the region tournament, have prepared them for what they'll see in the capital city.
We saw some things that didn't work very well. We didn't rebound the ball very well. We didn't execute on offense. So more anything, watching film, talking to the guys, going through quality reps in practice, and we were able to kind of flip that switch when we got in the regional tournament and put together 3 really good games. And anytime you can get out of Region 2, it's I think you feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders.
It's crazy. Just a few years ago, we're little kids watching our 2019 team go to state and win it. To be one of 2 teams from Thompson to go to state, it's just an awesome feeling. We're in some pretty special company. Obviously we're got that one banner back there, just 1 year on it, but we're hoping. Obviously we made it 2 now, but hopefully we can get a first place up there.
Delax Burlington comes in as the 5 seed with a 19-6 mark. They were able to avenge a pair of losses to Bishop Ryan earlier in the year by knocking off the Lions 80-77 in the region final. 6'9" senior Carson Yale is the centerpiece of the team. After missing all of last year with a leg injury, Yale has been a walking double-double, averaging 20 points and over 10 boards a game. He's also the rim protector on a defense that holds teams under 45 points per game on average. The Lakers haven't played in the state tournament since 1998, and just having a seat at the table has them dreaming big.
It's kind of anybody's game to win. We're going to hit practice hard, really hard this week, and just lock in on the little things. We need to do the little things right, and we can beat good teams.
We know we put in the time, and we talk about always having a chair, right? A chip in a chair, and we got one. And we're one of 8 that has one, and we're going to go down, and we're going to give it our best effort from the start to the finish, and see what happens.